In this video, we will be looking at the billing module within Assistant. To open the billing module, click the billing button on the button panel. To create an invoice, you have to start a new record in the billing form. Choose the record type to be invoice and enter the reference number, which will be automatically generated. We now have three options to complete the rest of the invoice record. Option 1. In order to use timesheets, you have to use the invoice form. Double-click in any of the fields to open the invoice form. The invoice form has an item list where you can enter the list of jobs you are billing the client for. The list can be created manually, loaded from the timesheets, or a mix of both. To load the timesheet records, we have to click on the Transfer In button. This will import all of the client's timesheet records with the status completed. If you do not wish to import an invoice for some of the transferred in jobs, you can transfer those records back to the timesheets by selecting the record in the list and clicking the Transfer Out button. If the completed job is activated in the invoice, the status of the timesheet record will be changed to billed, and further adjustments to the job will have no effect on the associated timesheet record. If we transfer out the record from the invoice form, the status of the timesheet record will change back to completed, and this record will become available to be used in your next invoice. The box at the bottom left-hand corner of the invoice form should be used to provide the details for the selected job. The details for each of the jobs can be entered manually. Automated timesheets will show the information of what schedules and worksheets were completed within the return. If you wish to include all records including $0 amounts or hide individual amounts in the invoice form, tick the applicable boxes. The Hide Description checkbox will only display notes for the invoice items. Individual amounts will also be suppressed. Let's have a look at how the report appears with this option checked. Notice the description is now removed and we only have the invoice total shown. You may also choose to write off or on amounts. Any values you enter in the write off or on field will be calculated and displayed in the carry forward box. The write off or on values may be positive or negative values. The invoice can be printed from the invoice form by clicking on the Preview button. It can also be printed from the billing form by clicking the Print button. Option 2. The second way of generating an invoice is by simply entering the amount in the invoice type of billing record without using the invoice form and briefly stating the invoice details. If we print this invoice, it will contain only the description we have entered in the billing form. Option 3. The third way of generating an invoice is to use the text templates. You can create several templates for the invoice details. One for tax return preparation, and one for BAS preparation, or other. These templates have to be created in Notepad or any other plain text editor. Templates must be stored in Assistant's Templates directory and carry the txt file name extension. All of these templates will be listed in the pick list of the Billing Notes column. Alternatively, you may edit or import these txt files from within the invoice form by selecting the following buttons. This button will import information from the text file into the Job Details box, while this button will allow you to edit the templates directly. By default, in Assistant 2010 you have two existing templates: Preparation of Tax Return 2009 and Preparation of Tax Return 2010. As you can see, these files are listed in the pick list of the billing form. If I print the invoice, the name of the template will appear in bold as the job description, and the contents of the file will be shown underneath as job details. When you print an invoice, the fixed template will be used for the invoice. However, in Assistant's options under the Billing tab, you can choose to use Microsoft Word templates. If we print an invoice, the MS Word template will be used. The templates can be modified via File, Maintain Templates, and Maintain MS Word Templates. You will have to select the invoice template from the list of templates and modify this. To illustrate this, I'll replace the logo image on the provided template. If I save the template, close and print the invoice again, the new invoice template will be used. When you receive a payment from your client, enter the payment information, creating the billing record with the payment type and reference to the invoice number. Next to the billable amount on the billing form status bar, the aged balances are shown, indicating the age of the outstanding balance. Any update to the billing transactions will force the aged balances to refresh and show the current situation. If you will be using Assistant's billing system, you will have to set Update Aged Balances option in the options. This checkbox has to be ticked to force the program to refresh the aged balances for all clients once a day. The Debtors filter, which is located on the navigator, can be used to filter all clients with an outstanding balance. As you can see, all of the filtered clients have some outstanding balance.